If you thought the NFL was prepared for this moment, think again. Because what happened tonight didn't just shake a stadium. It sent the entire league into panic mode. This is Spill News, where secrets explode before your eyes. And tonight, we're diving into the debut that the NFL tried to downplay until the numbers hit them like a freight train. Shedeur Sanders, the rookie they said wasn't built for Sundays, walked into his first NFL start and accidentally triggered one of the biggest viewership spikes the league has seen in years. 4.9 million live viewers, confirmed by insiders who were suddenly very, very quiet. If you were in his place, the pressure, the legacy, the haters breathing down your neck, what would you do? Fold? Or turn the entire league upside down? The internet couldn't believe it. And honestly, you won't either. NFL executives scrambled. Broadcasters froze. Even veteran analysts were whispering. Bro said too much and they got him. Because when the numbers leaked, everything changed. This wasn't just a debut. This was a message. And trust me, when you hear what really happened behind the scenes, it gets uglier. From the moment Shedeur Sanders stepped out of that tunnel, something felt wrong in the air. Not bad wrong. Not rookie nerves wrong. No. It was a kind of wrong that makes executives shift in their leather chairs, check their phones twice, and whisper to each other like someone accidentally detonated a secret they were supposed to bury. And if you think I'm exaggerating, remember where you are. And tonight's explosion starts with one rookie, one debut, and one number the NFL absolutely did not want trending. 4.9 million. 4.9 million live viewers for a kid they tried to convince the world was not ready. Imagine being Shedeur for a second. The cameras, the lights, the legacy of being Deion Sanders' son hanging heavy on your shoulders. Every step he took was followed by thousands of eyes in the stadium, and millions more glued to screens they didn't even plan to turn on. Because let's be honest, nobody expected Cleveland versus whoever to become a national broadcast emergency. But that's exactly what happened. And the funniest part? It didn't even start on the field. It started the moment the broadcast cameras caught Shedeur warming up. The way he held himself like he wasn't just stepping into a debut, but into a throne room where someone else had been sleeping in his chair for years. You could practically hear the tension. The sideline reporters were whispering like they'd been handed classified documents. Producers were throwing hands up in control rooms like, guys, why are the numbers jumping before kickoff? That's the question. Why were the numbers jumping? Why were casual viewers turning on a game they normally scroll past? Why were rival fans suddenly acting like they forgot which team they support? Because Shedeur wasn't just a debuting quarterback. He was a headline, a walking storyline, a storyline the NFL didn't write but now had to deal with. And trust me, the league hates storylines they didn't control. But let's rewind for a second back to everything that led to tonight. Back to the doubt, the subtle shade, the analysts rolling their eyes when his name was mentioned. He's not his father. He played in a weak conference. His mechanics won't survive the NFL. He won't be able to read pro defenses. They threw everything at him, hoping something stuck. But what they didn't realize was that every disrespectful comment, every dismissive segment, every sarcastic laugh on sports radio became gasoline. And when Shedeur walked into this game, that gasoline finally met the match. And it wasn't just the haters talking. Even inside the building, even in the Browns facility, there were whispers from people who didn't want to admit out loud but couldn't hide it. Is he actually ready? Are we rushing him? What if this ruins him? You want to talk about pressure? Try walking into your first NFL start with a 29-year curse strapped to your back. A curse older than the rookie himself. Cleveland had not won a rookie QB debut in nearly 3 decades. Careers came and went. Coaches were hired, fired, rehired, refired. Fans prayed. Fans gave up. Fans came back. And still loss. 17 straight rookie debut losses. 17. And tonight, whether you wanted it or not, whether you asked for it or not, that entire history was placed on Shedeur Sanders' shoulders. No warm-up season. No gradual grooming. Just, hey kid, the starter's injured. Go break a 3-decade curse real quick. So when he lined up for that first snap, you could see it, not fear, but something heavier. Focus, determination. A little bit of that Sanders arrogance. The same energy Dion had when he stepped on the field and made the moment his. And the NFL felt it too. That's why the panic started long before the final score. The panic started with the numbers. Inside the league office, there's a little-known real-time ratings dashboard, a tool executives use to gauge how broadcasts are performing. And let me tell you, when that number hit 4.9 million, someone in that office said something they absolutely did not want anyone else hearing. Because that number wasn't normal. That number wasn't expected. That number wasn't planned. That number meant one thing. Shedeur Sanders wasn't just a player. He was a ratings weapon. And in the NFL, ratings are power. And power shifts scare people. But let's get back to the field, the place where Shedeur made all of this unavoidable. The first few plays weren't flashy. They were efficient, controlled, calm. And that calmness is exactly what rattled the league. A rookie is supposed to look nervous. They're supposed to look overwhelmed. They're supposed to make mistakes that analysts can pick apart for the next week. But Shedeur, he looked like someone who came here to do a job he'd already rehearsed in his mind 1,000 times. The poise, the pocket control, the confidence when he scanned the defense. Fans noticed. Cameras noticed. Commentators noticed. And suddenly, viewers who had no business watching this game stayed. They stayed when he fired that first long completion. They stayed when he escaped a collapsing pocket and found receiver like he was playing backyard football. They stayed because the rookie wasn't playing like a rookie. He was playing like someone who came to make a statement. And right when everyone was settling into this idea of, oh, he's actually solid, he dropped the throw that changed the entire narrative. A 52-yard bomb to Isaiah Bond. A missile threaded between defenders like Shedeur had been doing this for years. The stadium erupted. The broadcast lost its script. Social media detonated. And inside the NFL ratings office, panic. Full panic. Because that moment, that one throw, is where the viewership spike went vertical. That's when the number hit 4.9 million. That's when insiders realized this debut wasn't just good. It was historic. And that's when the league understood something they weren't ready for. A fifth-round rookie had just become the most-watched storyline of the week. But the real twist? The thing that made this debut even more chaotic behind the scenes? The leaked messages. The ones that started circulating in private group chats among NFL staffers. Messages we'll get into later. Messages that hinted at something deeper. Something the league hoped would stay buried. Something connected. Not just to the ratings, but to how those ratings leaked. And trust me, what came next, even his enemies didn't expect. But the real twist? The thing that made this debut even more chaotic behind the scenes? The leaked messages. The ones that started circulating in private group chats among NFL staffers. Messages we'll get into later. Messages that hinted at something deeper. Something the league hoped would stay buried. Something connected not just to the ratings, but to how those ratings leaked. And trust me, what came next, even his enemies didn't expect. Because the second that 52-yard bomb hit social media, everything flipped. Suddenly, this wasn't a rookie debut. It wasn't even a football game anymore. It was an event, a cultural moment, a broadcast anomaly that the NFL couldn't control, couldn't spin, and definitely couldn't hide. And that's where the scandal begins. Not on the field, not on the scoreboard, but deep inside the league's media department, where someone decided to push in on a number that was never supposed to see daylight. 4.9 million live viewers. Not projected, not estimated, not early counts. The real number. And what's the first thing that happens when something leaks? People start pointing fingers. Who leaked this? Who benefits from it? Who wants Shedeur's name exploding like this? You'd think the league would be celebrating a massive viewership spike. But no, they weren't celebrating. They were panicking. Because a spike that big exposes two things. That someone inside is talking, and that the narrative they were trying to push, the narrative that Shedeur was just another rookie, was dead. Inside those leaked messages, you see the panic. One executive wrote, "Who told him to post that?" Another said, "Delete that tweet before it hits ESPN." Someone else, "This isn't the number we intended to release." The number we intended to release. What does that even mean? Were they planning to give a lower number? Were they trying to downplay Shedeur's impact? Were they intentionally hiding the fact that a rookie had just outrated multiple primetime matchups? It sure looks like it. And when those messages leaked, social media went feral. Fans dug up old clips of analysts trashing Shedeur. They pulled receipts from when the league dismissed him, mocked him, compared him unfairly to other rookies. They posted montages of every time someone said, "He won't make it." And as the fire grew, so did the pressure on the people inside the NFL who were caught in the middle of the leak. Anonymous insiders, people who insisted their names stay hidden, started talking to blogs, small sports channels, and niche outlets. And the things they said, oh, they were wild. One insider claimed the league was trying to avoid too much spotlight on a non-first rounder. Another said executives were afraid this kind of buzz would overshadow high-market teams. Someone else hinted there was jealousy because Shedeur's debut overshadowed multiple primetime stars who were supposed to be the faces of the league this season. And if you think that sounds childish, welcome to the NFL, where grown men in million-dollar suits throw tantrums behind closed doors when the ratings don't follow their script. But while the league was drowning in their own panic, Shedeur was doing the one thing that scared the most. He kept playing well. He didn't crash after the big throw. He didn't crumble under the weight of sudden attention. He controlled the offense like he'd been doing this for a decade. Every time he completed a pass, the viewership ticked higher. Every time a commentator praised his calmness, more people tuned in. Every time he showed a flash of that Sanders swagger, the narrative shifted further. And then came the touchdown, a simple screen pass, at least on paper, but executed so perfectly it turned into a 66-yard explosion. Dylan Sampson took it, but Shedeur orchestrated it. The timing, the placement, the deception, everything about that play screamed preparation, not luck. And once again, social media detonated. There were fans screaming, "This kid is him." Others saying, "He plays smoother than half the starters in the league." Even rival fan bases were forced to admit, okay, this is serious. But the reactions that shook the internet the most were the ones from famous players who chimed in. A veteran quarterback tweeted, "This composure ain't normal for a rookie." A retired Hall of Famer wrote, "I see prime time in his eyes." And Shedeur Sanders himself, the man whose shadow Shedeur has always walked under, posted nothing, not a single word, just a picture of Shedeur looking calm in the pocket with a caption, "We built different." And that silence from Dion, oh, it was louder than any commentary. Because when a father knows his son has arrived, he doesn't need to brag. The world does it for him. But this wasn't just about football anymore. This was about power, about narrative control, about what happens when a player the league didn't prioritize suddenly becomes the center of the entire conversation. Blogs started writing about the debut, like it was a historic documentary moment. Sports talk shows scrapped their planned segments and replaced them with what just happened with Shedeur Sanders. One show even brought in a media analyst, not a football expert, a media analyst to explain how rare it is for a non-prime time, non-hype rookie game to spike like this. She said, "This is almost impossible. These numbers don't happen unless something resonates culturally." Culturally, that's the word. Shedeur wasn't just playing football. He was tapping into something bigger, a legacy story, a father-son dynasty, a storyline the league could either embrace or be buried by. And while this fire spread to the media, the NFL's inner circle was scrambling. They held an emergency call, yes, an actual emergency call, to discuss the leak. Insiders claimed 3 executives argued, 2 threatened resignations, and one even said this could change next year's marketing strategy. Imagine panicking so much over a rookie debut that you start planning entire marketing cycles around him. But the craziest part hadn't even hit yet, because buried inside the leaked messages, fans found something else, a second number, a number that suggested the viewership spike wasn't just real, it was underestimated. A message read, "The surge isn't stopping," could hit over 5 million by end of broadcast. Over 5 million. A rookie debut cracking numbers that some playoff games struggled to reach. And who leaked that message? A burner account with no profile picture, no followers, no hint of who they were, but whose screenshots matched the interface used in an NFL media office. A burner that suddenly deleted itself minutes later. Suspicious? Completely. Intentional? Very. And the timing? Perfect. Because minutes after that leak, the broadcast caught Shedeur on the sideline smiling, not cocky, not arrogant, but the smile of someone who knew something the world was only just now realizing, that he wasn't here to survive the NFL. He was here to bend it. But the biggest revelation? The message that caused the real chaos? That wasn't leaked yet. That was the one tied to a name the NFL prayed would never surface. And when that name dropped, everything changed all over again. And that is where things take a turn nobody, not even insiders, saw coming. But just when we thought it was over, another name came up. But just when we thought it was over, another name came up. And this one didn't belong to a player, a coach, or even a commentator. No. This name belonged to someone buried so deep inside the NFL's media machine that even veteran reporters didn't recognize it first. The message was simple. He warned them this would happen. That was it. 7 words. But those 7 words sent the internet into frenzy. Because the signature below that message belonged to a man rumored, yes, rumored, to be one of the silent architects of the NFL's narrative control team. Someone who works off camera, off record, and off contract to shape storylines, bury embarrassing numbers, and amplify the ones the league wants the world to see. And he wasn't supposed to say anything. He wasn't supposed to reveal anything. But he did. And suddenly the entire conversation shifted from Shedeur's debut was insane to why is the NFL manipulating ratings? That's when the dominoes really started falling. Fans began digging, as they always do when they smell something bigger. Threads popped up. Timelines exploded. People connected old interviews, past controversies, ignored storylines, and the narrative became something far more dangerous to the league. Did they try to suppress Shedeur's debut? It was speculation, yes, but speculation is enough to spark a storm, especially when the NFL has a history of quietly shaping what the public gets told. And here's the twist. One insider claimed that the original viewership number they planned to release was closer to 2.8 million, not even close to the real 4.9. Why? That insider wrote, they didn't want another rookie overshadowing the established stars. And if that's true, even partially true, then this wasn't a leak. This was an uprising, an internal revolt. Someone inside the NFL chose to expose the real numbers because they believed Shedeur's impact was bigger than the league's agenda, and the fallout from that belief hit fast. Inside team facilities, coaches were whispering. Staffers were pretending not to have seen the leaks. Executives were slamming their office doors. And somewhere in the middle of all this chaos, Shedeur Sanders, the rookie at the center of the storm, was probably just icing his arm, scrolling through his phone, and realizing it just triggered something far greater than a football conversation. But with any explosion comes the aftermath. And this aftermath wasn't gentle. Sports talk shows began asking, did the NFL try to hide the truth? Pundits accused executives of being insecure. Rival fan bases cried favoritism. Conspiracy channels on YouTube started posting hour-long breakdowns with dramatic music and red circles around blurry screenshots. And while all this noise grew louder, Shedeur posted a single message on social media. Just getting started. That post alone added gasoline to a fire already scorching the league's image. Because when a player acknowledges a narrative storm, that storm grows teeth. Every comment under his post was chaos. Fans praising him, haters attacking him, analysts dissecting every word, celebrities chiming in as if this was a Netflix drama unfolding in real time. But behind the scenes, things were far uglier. The anonymous insiders who had spoken out began disappearing, not literally, but digitally. Accounts went private. Posts were deleted. Burner accounts vanished. And one journalist revealed he received a polite but firm warning from someone in the league office telling him to stop amplifying speculation. Speculation? They always use that word when you get too close to the truth. Meanwhile, Shedeur's teammates spoke out too. One said, he didn't flinch once. That tells you everything. Another said, he carried himself like he belonged. Even the team's veteran quarterback, the one Shedeur unexpectedly replaced, said, Kid's legit. The league better get used to him. And these quotes only strengthen the idea that this wasn't just a lucky debut. This was a shift, a movement, a moment where a rookie became a symbol of something bigger than sports. Disruption. But when does disruption stop being exciting and start becoming dangerous? That answer came when the league issued a statement. A vague, PR-scrubbed, risk-free, emotionless statement that read like it had been rewritten 19 times by lawyers. Viewership numbers for all broadcasts are preliminary and subject to verification. Translation: we're not admitting anything, but it was too late. Fans didn't buy it. Analysts didn't buy it. And insiders who leaked the truth definitely didn't buy it. Even worse, the leaked messages kept coming. One said, they're nervous. Another said, we can't let this overshadow the season narrative. And the one that broke the internet. Prime was right about the hype machine. Prime, as in Shedeur Sanders. The same man the league reportedly felt uneasy about because his influence could reshape the college to NFL pipeline. Suddenly, it all made sense. This wasn't just about Shedeur's debut. This was about legacy, control, influence, a father-son dynasty that the league didn't prepare for. And the craziest part? None of it seemed to bother Shedeur. If anything, he looked more comfortable as the tension escalated. Reporters asked him about the leaks, and he just laughed and said, I just played ball. But his laugh didn't help calm anything down. It made the league look even more rattled, like the storm was spinning out of their hands while the rookies stood at the center like the eye, calm, unfazed, unstoppable. And then came the final blow, a message leaked from a high-ranking official saying, we underestimated the Sanders effect. That line alone sparked debates on every sports show in America. What is the Sanders effect? Is it marketability, charisma, viewership influence, or something deeper, something that terrified the league because they couldn't control it? Suddenly, every talking head, every channel, every podcast began dissecting the Sanders effect like it was a case study. Some argued it was genetics, the charisma of Dion reborn in his son. Others claimed it was a cultural pull, the storyline of father's shadow becoming a son's spotlight. And others, more dramatic, said it was destiny, the idea that Shedeur was built for pressure the way other rookies are built for breakdowns. But as the world debated theories, only one thing was certain. This was no longer just about a debut. This was a shift in power, a moment where a rookie forced the NFL to confront something they weren't ready for, unpredictability. And with unpredictability comes fear. And with fear comes change. The league will never admit it publicly, but insiders say the panic hasn't stopped. Executives are monitoring Shedeur's every interview, every post, every upcoming game. Terrified the numbers will explode again. Terrified he'll overshadow veterans they invested millions into promoting. Terrified he represents a future they can't control. And the irony? Shedeur doesn't care about any of that. He's too busy preparing for his next game. Too focused on improving, learning, growing. Proving that the 4.9 million was a fluke, that the leaks weren't hype, that the panic wasn't overreaction. But it's a final twist that seals the story. A detail buried in the last leaked message, the one nobody noticed at first. This is only the beginning. Was it a warning? A prediction? A threat? Nobody knows. But the message vanished minutes after appearing, deleted by an account that disappeared forever. And just like that, silence. Silence in the halls of the NFL. Office. Silence from the insiders. Silence from the burn accounts that started it all. Silence, except for Shedeur Sanders, the kid who walked into his debut with a curse on his back, millions of eyes on his every move, and a league scrambling behind the scenes. The kid who walked out not just with a win, but with the power to make the NFL panic again with every snap he takes. And that's the part that leaves everyone unsettled. Because if tonight was only the beginning, the secrets aren't going anywhere. They'll hide, they'll simmer, they'll wait, but they're still here, watching, waiting, ready to explode again the moment Shedeur steps back onto that field. And until then, the league can pretend it's calm. The executives can pretend they're in control. The insiders can pretend nothing leaked. But we know the truth. The panic never ended. It just went quiet. And Shedeur Sanders? He vanished into the night without a trace. But the secret stayed. And now, as the dust finally settles on a debut the NFL never wanted to admit they were afraid of, the only question left is the one nobody inside the league office wants to hear out loud. What happens next? Because if one rookie, 1/5-round pick, can shake the foundation of the most powerful sports league in America with a single game, imagine what he can do when the spotlight gets bigger, the pressure gets heavier, and the viewership climbs past numbers they can no longer hide. Tonight wasn't just a win for Shedeur Sanders. It was a warning shot, a reminder that no script, no agenda, and no corporate narrative can contain a player who refuses to be ignored. And now the world is watching. Fans, haters, journalists, insiders, all holding their breath because the next chapter could blow open everything the NFL has tried to control for years. So now it's your turn. What do you think really happened behind the scenes? Was the panic real? Did someone inside the NFL purposely leak the truth? Or is this just the beginning of an even bigger story the league hoped would never see daylight? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Because trust me, something tells me this isn't the last time Shedeur shakes the system. And if you want every twist, every leak, every exposed secret the moment it drops, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and stay locked in. We're going deeper, sharper, and louder than ever. Because if tonight proved anything, it's that the truth always finds a way out. This is Spill News, where secrets explode before your eyes.